Did that answer make sense?
Yeah,
it made sense. Okay. Because if I talk about it too much, I might cry. Thanks. Our fingers were messed up in that. I would say, first of all, I'm a believer, and a believer in a lot of things, but the most important thing in my life is my religion. I'm a Christian, and so my identity is rooted in God and in Christ. I'm very family-oriented. I'm a daddy's girl. I love both my parents, of course, but big daddy's girl. And being from the South, family is such a unique thing to have, and it's also the core of who I am as well. So a daughter of God, and a daughter of my natural father. What's in my cup? I'd have to say the people around me, my core group of friends, they're in my cup because I value them so much, and I spend a lot of my time investing in how they feel, and it's reciprocal, and just like the essence of who they are as people, and the way I think about improving myself and also wanting them to improve. Just like the people around me, they're in my cup because they're just all they're beautiful people, and they've really shaped who I am today. And like I said before, I'm a Christian, and all the things that I've learned from the Bible, through talking to my pastor here on campus, those values that I've learned, it's in my cup. I'm an athlete. It's also been a pretty big part of my life, just playing sports, just to have an outlet outside of the academics, just to have something I can do for fun, compete, just to kind of show a different side of me. I just love working out and staying healthy, and that's been a huge part of my life too. I would say on the surface, just working out. Just because I'm free in that, I feel like I can just become a different person. I feel strong and empowered, and if I'm lifting weights or something, I know that I have control over this. So I just feel really, I vibe in that. And also, I would say another activity is just sitting down, listening to gospel music, and just really letting God speak to me and hearing His word, because it's very peaceful, it's very calming, and sometimes I have to step away from the hectic work here at Yale and issues with other people, just to find my happy space in that. And so just sitting down, listening with my beats, and sometimes journaling. Journaling is also a part of my flow, I would say. Just letting my thoughts enter the page, not holding anything back, and just being vulnerable. I think that's the most important thing, because at school, especially at a place like Yale, it's easy to try to pretend like you have everything in order all the time, and that you're never going to falter. But that's something, I think, spending that time in your own space, in a place that you're comfortable, is the most important thing. And that's part of my flow, just allowing myself to be introspective and not thinking about the other things that are happening around me. So how did I get here? I would say I didn't get here just by my own strength in my own actions. Here here on this earth, here as like who I am today, I've gotten here just on the backs of my family back down south and a lot of prayer. I don't know. I've had a lot of help from my friends, and I've gone through a lot with friends actually in high school, just doubting like who I am. But I've also had other people uplift me in the same way, so it's kind of like a balance. And so without that negativity, I feel like I also wouldn't be who I am today, because it helps me just deal with issues with other people, become more empathetic and more understanding of a person's other side, and not trying to hate that person. So just realizing that like we aren't perfect, and sometimes we should show our imperfections, and just like knowing that and still caring for a person for who they are. I think that's a realization that's helped me get to where I am today. Yeah. So. Advice that I would give to my younger self. My number one piece of advice would be, do not worry about what other people think about you, which is so simple, but I found myself always wondering what others perceived of me. If I did this, like what would they think, or like what would this person say? You know, just do you, just be yourself, and there's nothing wrong with who you are. And I remember back in high school, I didn't really want to tell a lot of people that I was Christian, because I didn't want them to think that I was judging them, because there's a stigma attached to it, of course. But now that I'm like more strong in my faith and unashamed of the gospel, I'm just like, you know, I can tell this person that I'm Christian, and that's fine. If I think that's a great part of who I am, I should hold on to that and showcase it. I shouldn't be ashamed of it. And so, yeah, just like don't get wrapped up into other people's thoughts about you, because like just be yourself, because it's beautiful, and you'll find people that will respect you for you, even if they have totally different views. If they're not Christian, if they're not religious at all, like it doesn't matter. Like if they respect the core of who you are, then like keep those people close to you, keep them tight, and just like grow with them. Just continue to encourage people to grow alongside of you, because it's not just a solo process. You know, you need people, and like don't be afraid. Another piece, like don't be afraid to reach out for help. I would always think that I had it all covered. Like my parents are actually divorced, and so when they divorced when I was in 6th grade, I felt like I had to take on everything as far as my schoolwork had to be perfect, had to be perfect in my sport. You know, I didn't want to be a burden on my parents as they were going through that. And so, and I didn't reach out for help because, you know, I was like, I can't show weakness. I have to be strong for them, which is kind of a weird thing to think about at that age. But here at Yale, and just being in my college years, I realized the value of showing vulnerability, being transparent, just reaching out for help, because like no one has it figured out all the time. So if I had to describe an activity in my cup as a chocolate dessert, I would describe my role within the Black church at Yale. I'm lead coordinator of that. I would describe it as a chocolate thunder from down under dessert from Outback Steakhouse. And so basically it's just like a chocolate cake, like funnel cake with chocolate lava in it, and the chocolate lava just overflows. And then there's a scoop of vanilla ice cream with chocolate drizzle. I'm big into chocolate, so yeah, I see my church as that. And I guess I would say the chocolate cake part is the actual church, but the overflow of the chocolate syrup would be the love that I feel when I walk into the space every Sunday, and just like, yeah, the outpouring of love and just like community. And that's something that I've always wanted in an organization, and leading that has just been an amazing experience for me. But yeah, that constant overflow, just like, it's sweet, you know, it's something that you just can't get everywhere, and it's just rich. And so that's why, yeah, that love is just so rich and sweet. And with that outpouring of love, you kind of want to share it with other people, right? So the dessert's kind of big, and so I normally would go with my dad and we would share it. But you want to share that love. You don't just want to keep it to yourself. It's something that other people need to experience. And so just like handing it out, just like have a piece of this rich, sweet love and community and fellowship and joy. Like, at the end of the day, when the chocolate dessert is done, I just feel happy. I'm happy full, not too full, you know, and just like, I feel content and at peace. And that's how I feel being a part of the Black Church at Yale. It's just like, when it's over, it's sweet. It's delicious. I love it.